What's up, party people, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're talking about some new makeup from LA Girl. They just came out with a new summer collection called Sunkissed Glow. I'm not sure if it's limited edition. I was gonna film an entire new drugstore makeup video where I talk about multiple brands, but I feel like LA Girl had enough to justify its own video. And if you're on the Ulta website and you're just interested in the LA Girl stuff, then this is for you. Also, I've been doing the whole like heatless robe curls thing with this little doodad over here, and I am obsessed. So if you guys want to see a tutorial on how I do mine, then drop in the comments below. So first things first, we have the Sunkissed Glow Long Wear Shadow Sticks. They're $6 on the Ulta website and they have 4 shades. I have 2. I have the shades Suede Fringe and Sandy Desert. Both very, very pretty shades and super universal. I will say there's nothing really like summery about them. Like for them to be in a Sunkissed Glow collection, like they're not like super summery in my opinion. So today was actually my first time using them, so I can't attest to how they wear. I can get a pretty good gauge for them though. So yeah, I applied Suede Fringe on this side and Sandy Desert on this side. And okay, they're kind of weird. When you swatch on your hand, they're very, very creamy. Like they're super glidey, very smooth, like no tugging at all. But on the eyes or on my eyelids for some reason, there's a little bit of tug. So on the right side, when I first started applying Suede Fringe, I had an eye primer on and just like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Like you could see in the clip, I'm just like, wait, why is it not gliding on the way it is in my hand? But they're so stiff and you have to work so fast with them because like they set down as soon as you like touch it to your eye. On the other side, I decided to take off the eye primer altogether because I thought maybe the primer just had too much grip to. Like maybe it doesn't need tackiness. It just needs like the slip of the oil on your eyelids. So yeah, with Sandy Desert, I did it on a blank eyelid with no eye primer. And I really thought I had it. Like I really thought that was gonna be the trick, but it was not. So yeah, same thing with this one. I just wasn't able to soften the lines and like the bluntness around the crease area. And also what's really weird is that now, like they're kind of cracking. I definitely think that's due to dryness. And these shades would be the perfect like one and done kind of eyeshadow look. Like you just put them on and blend out the edges with your fingers to soften it, but like you can't soften it. They're too sloppy looking. So yeah, I don't think these are gonna be a bad product for everyone, but for my eyelids, for some reason, they're just not creamy enough. All right, next up is their Sunkissed Glow eyeshadow palette. So this is 18 bucks at Ulta, and oh my God. So this has 20 shades, and I've really kind of transitioned away from really big palettes like the big 35 pan Morphe palettes. Like I used to look at it as a value, like, oh, I'm getting more bang for my buck, but now I just look at it as just waste. But this is my definition of the perfect everyday neutral but also smoky glam kind of palette. So it has 10 shimmers and 10 mattes in here. The formula is top notch. Like I really didn't expect this from LA Girl. The shimmers are so freaking buttery and metallic and smooth, and you don't need to wet them. So like in the clips, I'm applying them straight with my finger. I'm not wetting them afterwards. So yeah, I have absolutely no qualms with the shimmers in here. Like they are just like the perfect kind of shimmer formula, especially for the drugstore. So the mattes are usually in cheaper palettes and ones that I'm more leery of because usually they're very dry. This is perfect. They're not over the top. They're not too sheer. Like you don't have to spend forever and a day working with them. Like they're so buttery and soft. They soften and diffuse so well into each other, and they just like the pairing. Let's talk about the pairing in this. Like you've got everything you need in here. So yeah. If you can't tell, I'm in love with this palette. Okay, so this next product is not a new one, but I tried to gather all the LA Girl stuff that I had that I could put into this video to kind of not make like a full face, but I mean almost a full face of LA Girl. This is the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD Foundation. This is literally my holy grail. Like this is the GOAT of my foundation collection. If you're old like me and don't keep up with the new terms, GOAT means greatest of all time. You're welcome. Full coverage right out the gate. Like you don't have to build this up. In today's video, you'll see I have quite a bit of unevenness and blemishes to cover up, and with one layer, okay, one effortless layer, it covers up everything. It's that perfect satiny dewy finish, and I have oily skin, and it's really hard to find a glowy finish foundation that actually works and holds up. This is the longest wearing glowy foundation. It's glowy, but it's not so glowy to where I look greasy in all the wrong spots. Like somehow this has its own setting power. Even right now on me, like I don't have a setting powder on, I don't have a primer, I don't have a setting spray, I don't even have concealer on under my eyes. Like I just use the foundation as concealer, and the coverage, mind-blowing. You can see how it sets on its own. Like it just sets to be so lightweight. It doesn't feel tacky or anything. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's like set with a powder necessarily, but like when I'm touching it with my fingers, it's not transferring. Like there's no, it's transfer resistant without setting powder. How? I probably would get some flack with some people for saying this, but this is the one that I put in my freelance makeup kit. And that's not because I'm cheap. It's because it's one that works on everyone. I don't go around spewing it very much, but I'm a pro makeup artist if you didn't know. I don't like to start every video with, this is why you should listen to me. I'm a pro makeup artist of so many years and this is why I'm credible. I've been doing special event makeup since 2014 and this is one that, I'm not kidding, works on every skin type and on every person I've ever put this on. Like, cause that's the thing, like you have to find a foundation for your kit that is just effortless. Like you know it's gonna work, like it's foolproof. I've always had happy clients that will come back to me and just rave about their foundation, how their face makeup looks, how it's worn through crying, through sweat, through heat, through dancing, all that. Like I've never had a complaint. So like it speaks for itself. So for bronzer, I have their new matte bronzer in the shade Sunkissed Glow. This is $9 on the Ulta website. This is the only shade they have, but they do have like a mixture of 2 shades in here, one lighter and one darker. On the swatches in the clip, I swatched the lighter shade by itself, the darker shade by itself, and then I mixed the 2 together so you can see what the difference is. But the darker shade in here is dark enough to where if you have a deeper skin tone, you could probably pull it off. If you're super deep, you probably couldn't. Like for me personally, I don't think it would work because it's pretty dark. Like it's a very like deep, rich, cocoa kind of color. However, I don't know if you'd want to spend $9 on a bronzer that you could only use half of, so it probably wouldn't be worth the money in that case. It's definitely giving me like Physicians Formula butter bronzer vibes. Like that's definitely what they're trying to do. It smells very like suntan lotion-esque. Yeah, on this side I use both shades mixed together and it's a really pretty neutral kind of color. Like it looks very natural and very bronzy. It's a smooth formula, like it's easy to work with, but there definitely is some grip to it to where like it's not the most buttery formula. And on the other side I use just a lighter shade. So I really like the way this looks on its own. It's just a really good neutral, like just a flat tan shade. So this is straight up matte. Like there's no shimmer, there's no satiny glow or anything to it. So it's not quite like the Physicians Formula butter bronzers. So yeah, I would say this isn't a must-have. Like it's not the most innovative, amazing formula on the market. Which brings me to the next one, which is the Sunkissed Glow Highlighter. This is the only shade they have and it's also $9 at Ulta. And when I first looked at it, I was just like, oh wow, that's pretty dark to only have one shade. I don't know what it is about brands that like it's all or nothing. They either have one super light shade that will only work for lighter skin tones or one super dark shade that will only work for deeper skin tones. Like what? Why can't they give us a mixture? Looks like a very dark bronzy, almost like a bronzer kind of highlighter, which I was thinking, oh yeah, that's gonna be a straight up stripe on my skin. But it actually does work out very nicely, and I do feel like this is pretty universal. I don't think everyone could wear it, but I also don't think it's pigmented enough to where like if you're not the right skin tone, it's gonna show up and not work. It's just this like deeper bronzy kind of champagne tone. And when you look up close at it, like it does look very dry and you can see like a good amount of like chunky shimmer and sparkle, which is kind of worrisome. But on the skin, that is undetectable, which is a good thing. I do appreciate that. Again, this isn't the best highlighter I've ever tried. It's not the most creamy. It's not the most buttery smooth. Like it doesn't look like a wet, creamy, like liquid kind of highlighter situation. It's not that I don't like it. It's just like there's so much makeup out there that my standards, like I'm looking for that wow factor. I'm not like, oh my god, it's amazing. So last but not least, I have the LA Girl, obviously it's all LA Girl dummy, the Lumilicious Luminous Lip Gloss. I have the shade Pillow Talk, which is kind of reminiscent of Charlotte Tilbury, not sure. This one's a really pretty, universally flattering, like mauve rose with like a warmth to it. Like it's almost got like a corally aspect to it. It does have this nice up-to-date applicator where it's like a teardrop shaped paddle. Has a little cutout in the center where it holds onto the product. But I mean, it's a very pretty shade and it's very, very comfortable. It's very hydrating. It's made with vitamin E, argan oil, and sweet almond oil, which I think every lip gloss is made with those things nowadays. I applied this about an hour and a half ago and I haven't touched it since. And it's still there, but it's definitely lost its intensity and color. So it definitely isn't the most long-wearing formula I've tried. Let's just go ahead and reapply it just to show you what it looks like when you first apply it. Yeah, it's very glossy, very juicy, very moisturizing, and it has enough color to where you don't feel obligated to put a lipstick on underneath. I actually really do like this one, and I do want to try other shades because they have a really pretty shade selection. They're all very like neutral tone lip glosses, which I can appreciate. This one's $6, by the way, on the Ulta website. So yeah, I like it. So if you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more like it where I talk about drugstore makeup, as I always do, then make sure you give it a big old, oh, my clicker is still not working, but you get the gist. Here's a couple more things for you to check out next. So just venture around the channel, make yourself at home. Subscribe if you're not already, and turn the notification bell on to always see my stuff. Everything that's on my face today will be listable in the description box and a full makeup breakdown, and I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.